Diebold was called to account by the state of California. At stake was millions of dollars worth of business, and Diebold was forced to put their president, Bob Urosevich, on the stand.
As you know, about a year ago, one version of the source code of the Diebold TSX system escaped your control, and some months later was investigated by a group headed by Avi Rubin, Professor Avi Rubin of Johns Hopkins University, and they wrote a report which found numerous severe vulnerabilities in the code that they saw. I would like your general reaction to those reports before we go a little more deeply.
Basically, the code was stolen. In there is passwords. In there is our encryption technology. Okay, now, I'm not a rocket science, but let me tell you, if somebody steals the key to my house, the first thing I'm going to do is probably change the lock. So that's what we went ahead and did.
As you know, the code wasn't stolen. It was left on a public FTP site by your own company.
The code was lifted off of our site, sir, and we still believe it was
downloaded
stolen.
from. You know that.
Okay.
Now, of course, the source code, in fact, got out. The key is now published. What in effect you did, or your team did, is create a big complex building, put locks on every door, use the same key for every lock, and then published a picture of the key on the wall. This was far below the minimal standards of security.
But for Bev, there was a more basic problem than security. Could Diebold be trusted at all with the counting of the vote?
On topic number one, Diebold, we have a company that lies. Yes, I'll say it, lies. Up here this morning, they were saying they'd made all the changes in the software to fix the multiple flaws that would have never been found in the beginning if I hadn't have found their files on the website, by the way. But, you see, there's something called release notes. It's a legal document. It is something that must show everything you did and did not change when you put out a new version. I obtained the release notes for GEMS. They did not fix any of the problems. This stuff was never corrected. I don't know what to say. How can you have a company say we want secret software that nobody, even the county registrars who are here testifying on their behalf, is allowed to look at? And when you look at it, you find flaws, and then they say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, so you turn it over to scientific panels. They find flaws, they say, oh, don't worry about it, we corrected it, and that's a lie.
Bob Urosevich, Diebold's president.
The voting machine was running Diebold's election software, but it was also, silently, running our demonstration vote-stealing software. And our software was able to steal votes without being detected. When the election ends, the vote-stealing software can delete itself from the voting machine. No evidence remains that the machine was ever hijacked. No evidence remains that any votes were stolen. As far as anyone can tell, the election was conducted fairly. But the result is fraudulent. This vote-stealing attack requires injecting malicious software into the voting machine. Anyone who has access to a voting machine for a few minutes can install malicious code. Here is one way to do so. In advance, we prepare a memory card containing our malicious software. When we get a few minutes alone with the machine, we first open the side door. We can do this with a key. There are thousands of keys in circulation, and any hardware store will copy them. Even without a key, the lock is easily picked. One member of our team can consistently pick the lock in less than 10 seconds. Or we can simply remove a few screws and lift off the machine's cover. Next, we remove any memory card that is already in the machine and insert our prepared memory card. We press the power button to boot the machine. When the machine boots, it will automatically install our malicious software for us. The machine makes a musical noise when it boots, but we can suppress this noise by inserting headphones into the machine. We remove our memory card, replace any card that was there before, and close the door. Our malicious code is now installed on the machine. The total elapsed time is less than 1 minute. Due to design flaws in the Diebold AccuVote TS voting machine, it is possible to construct a computer virus that infects these machines and spreads automatically from one machine to many others. To illustrate this, we have constructed a demonstration virus in our lab. The machines use removable memory cards to distribute software updates and store the results of elections. The memory cards function similarly to floppy disks or thumb drives on ordinary PCs. Memory cards act as carriers for the virus. When a memory card is inserted into an infected machine, the machine copies the virus onto that memory card. If the memory card is removed and later put into another machine, the virus spreads from the memory card to the new machine. In this way, the virus can spread from one infected machine to an entire population of machines. The virus can carry with it a malicious payload program that is installed on every infected machine. For example, our demonstration virus carries our vote stealing software, so that every machine that catches the virus will steal votes. A criminal could use this kind of virus to install malicious software on many voting machines, even if he has access to only a few machines, or even only one. By planting a virus far enough in advance, he can ensure that a significant number of machines will steal votes on election day. These problems, taken together, pose a very serious threat to the security of the elections conducted on Diebold AccuVote TS voting machines. We urge public officials to address these issues promptly.